Did you like Brave New World, MCU? I talk a lot about MCU. Um, Brave New World. Let's just go into this real quick. It's my guys on the podcast, Escape Podcast.
Did you like Brave New World, Captain America?
It
Brave
was
New
all
World?
right.
I think
liked
that's a
it.
better movie than Revenge of the Sith.
That is the craziest take of all time. That is the
What a take! Oh my god, that is nuts. It's so nuts that I might actually bite on that. Because here's the thing. When I saw Brave New World, number one, I like Anthony Mackie. I really do. He has great charisma. He's great as Falcon. It's just, I never liked the idea of Sam taking over for Cap. Never liked it. It's just maybe I want Steve as Cap. And that's my problem. Is even Bucky taking over, even Punisher did a stint where he started dressing like him for a second. Like, all that, like, it just, I don't know. It just never sat right with me. I wanted Cap to be Cap. If someone, Falcon wants to step up and do something else, he could do something else, but not be Captain America. But I guess they made it like the world needs a Captain America. I didn't mind Winter Soldier and Cap. People really hated it. I got it. It was more like politic type show. It's not like the best show ever, but I got it. And he had this crazy speech at the end where it was pretty good. Like, I understand what they're trying to come across through the whole thing, but when this movie came out, Captain America: Brave New World, I was like, I'm not feeling this one bit. I am not gonna watch it, or I'll watch it, but this movie looks stupid. And Harrison Ford as Red Hulk. Oh, I was like, you got to be kidding me. I don't like Harrison Ford really as an actor that much, to be real with you. I don't think he has like that much of a range. I don't think he cares about acting, but the money, he's clearly about that with Star Wars. He hates doing Star Wars. And I hate when people have a great job and they hate doing it. I cannot stand it, especially with actors. You get to do cool shit in a movie and you're going to hate it. He gets to be Red Hulk, and it was such a throwaway character. Like, I was like, they're just going to use him in this and that's it. And I watched it, and a lot of it was pretty cool. I liked a lot of the, was Elijah Bradley, the first Captain America storyline from Truth comic book. Like, him playing a big factor in it was really cool. I liked that a lot. I liked it. Kind of tried to go in the Winter Soldier direction. It's not Winter Soldier by far. Don't get mad. It's not Winter Soldier at all. But I think they try to go in that direction, which is a good direction to try to go into with the Captain America movie. And it's crazy because this is technically Captain America 4. We got to number 4 with Captain America. It doesn't look like it, but it is. It's Captain America 4. So it's cool. We might get a Captain America 5 someday, but it's probably not because we're going to reboot it and get a new Captain America. But that being said, I actually really liked it, I think, because how bad I thought it was going to be. I don't think they used Leader right. But then I started putting things together, and it literally was a cleanup for Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk, I will tell you, is not one of my favorite movies of the MCU. Or ever, pretty much. People go nuts for it because how Hulk is and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. He looks cool. He doesn't really look like... He looks like a comic Hulk, I guess. I mean, but he's supposed to look like kind of like the guy he turned into. That's always cooler, I guess, to show that guy's still there a little bit. But I don't know. Because, we had Luke Ferrigno one back then. He looked nothing like Bill Bixby. But, that's just a thing that I kind of was onto. That Hulk just bored me. Edward Norton bored me. It just was boring. And I'm a guy that can handle watching stuff for the story and not need to have action all the time. If it's a good story, you got me, And that story is not that good. It really isn't. And, Hulk does Hulk, some cool things, and but nothing that really blew me away. But the fight scene, one of the best underrated fight scenes in Marvel MCU universe, one of the greatest. Like, it's such a good fight scene. Him and Abomination, using the chain on each other, choking them out, elbowing them with its bone. It's a crazy good fight. It's a little bit. That's the only problem. It's a little bit. But back to Brave New World, this was like a cleanup for that, and we got to see the aftermath of the Leader. Leader is such a huge character; they should have done a lot more with him, but we got to get him back. They did more with Ross, but it turned into we had him during the Sokovia records or whatever files, whatever, pushing that with Steve. So that was like the last thing we saw. So he didn't have like this grudge with Hulk or anything, and he had like nothing with Hulk. There was nothing there. They never built on that anymore, which I kind of didn't like. But I guess they wanted to forget the Hulk movie and Betty Ross and all that stuff. But then we got this movie, and for some reason, he turns to the Red Hulk. He's been getting peeled by the Leader. it's just weird, but I end up liking all of it. I say like as in not loving it, of course. I liked it more than I expected. I think that's what happened. Is I liked it more than I expected. And I don't think it's bad as people make it out to be. That's my thing. If people make it out to be really horrible, maybe you had to come with my mindset where I didn't expect nothing from it. And I was like, this is going to be boring because I thought Captain America, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, what was it called? I thought that story would have been better as a movie the whole time I watched it. It was an okay show. But if they would have pushed this onto a movie with the U.S. agent and all that, I thought it would have been a good movie. This would have been a really good, strong movie, I felt, the storyline. And it was slower at times. But again, I could sit through some slow stuff and fill it out and understand, we got to build this movie or TV show, whatever it was. But if it's a movie, I could go through that. But with this, I was like, we already got too much of it, and I don't want any more. Then once I watched it, I was actually like, maybe people should watch it like how I did. I had no expectations of it because it actually made me like impressed. I was like, you know what? Told people like, I liked that movie. They're like, really? You liked it? And I'm like, yeah, I liked it. Again, it could have been just because I didn't think it was going to be good at all. Again, I like Mackie. I wish they used Winter Soldier more, Leader more. But Red Hulk being used, he just seemed like a throwaway. That's the only problem that I mainly had. I love the Red Hulk in the comics. It is weird because I never see him as Ross. I see him as a whole different entity. When I read comics, when he's on the Thunderbolts, anything, when he fought the Avengers, when he punched the Watcher in the comics, I saw Red Hulk as a totally different person. I did not ever think that was Ross. Until we got the Red She-Hulk, and that was Betty, and it got all kind of goofy in the comics. But this take is kind of crazy. So, Revenge of the Sith, it's a crazy one. So, maybe it's my age. I'm not sure. But there was a time these movies first came out. Everybody loved everything. No one hated Jar Jar. I was in theaters, and people loved this shit. They couldn't wait till the next one. Attack of the Clones, oh, this is my favorite one. Revenge of the Sith, oh, this is my favorite one. Everyone was buying all the toys. They're off the rack. Time went by. Everyone hated them. They couldn't believe how bad they were. Couldn't believe how bad the acting is. I get it. Like, watching them over again, there are some bad things. There are some good things, though. Don't get me wrong. And for some reason now, out of nowhere, within the last, 5 to 10 years maybe, everyone thinks Revenge of the Sith is, one of the greatest Star Wars movies. When they do their ratings, Revenge is, way above a lot of stuff. Anakin's acting doesn't change from Clone Wars to that. So we can't go there. He does get to go Sith, but he does all that. The banter with him and Natalie Portman is just so bad, man. And it's not like we have badass Maul or General Grievous, some cool visual to look at, oh, this is intimidating. We don't really get that in Revenge of the Sith. The big villains can be Anakin at the end, and then their whole talk at the end, where he's like, I don't know, their whole little speech against each other, and Obi-Wan's on the ship, and you're like, oh snap, he's with his girl, now he's mad. It's just, that's the biggest thing people go for, is the big fight at the end. And it is, when you put everything together, all the Star Wars lore, from all the years from 4, 5, 6, and from 1 and 2, and from people reading the legendary books, the legacy books, whatever you want to call them, this was a big thing we all imagined in our head. The day that Anakin turned on Obi turned on him, whatever you want to call it, and went full Sith, and how it broke it down. So people were clamming to see this. And again, people loved it when it first came out. I remember everyone liking it. And then we got older, and we rewatched it and was like, God damn, this was acted horribly. The story's not the greatest either. But what redeems a lot of it for people is that fight at the end. Because everyone will go down and say, that's the best lightsaber fight in any Star Wars movie. Now, only ones I can see that argue with that was maybe Yoda's, because it's cool and crazy looking when he's fighting Sidious, right? And then Darth Maul's fight. Very acrobatic and choreographed, but really cool. Other than that, most of them are A New Hope. It's Obi talking to Darth, and they hit sabers a couple times, and then he dies. Most of the lightsaber battles are just a couple hits. I mean, we get Return of the Jedi, where Luke is just angry as hell, and he's whacking at Vader and stuff. It's just, but it's not cool. It's part of the story. It's showing his anger and all that. But everyone goes to this movie, and the best thing they could bring out of this is the fight at the end. And if that's what's saving this movie, again, by all means out there, people, you out there, by all means, tell me what parts in it are really good, and I'll hear you out. I'll rewatch those parts. This is something like I was like, oh, I haven't watched this in 10 years, dude. I have a kid. We're bored. They come on TV. There's a lot of stuff going on. I watch Revenge of the Sith. I've watched Revenge of the Sith probably within the last 3 months at least. You'll try, but it's just point out to me the good parts in the movie and what I need to watch and recalculate my thinking here and tell me why it's such a great movie. And if you can avoid not telling me about the final battle, I will be impressed. Because to me, what made everything great about that movie was nothing in it but the final altercation, because of 4 through 6, everything else, 1 and 2, I guess you could say, all the books we've read and stuff, because it had such a build up to this fight. Finally, we're going to see Vader come out of this guy. And we didn't care how bad of an actor he was. We just wanted to see him come out. And it's a long fight. It's long. They made sure this was long. It's pretty, I wouldn't go far as epic, but it's pretty, satisfying. Jumping through the lava and all that. And it is pretty crazy, It's a good, I think, scene at the end where they have dumb dialogue in the beginning. But I think at the end where he's like, you're like a brother to me, like yelling at him while he's burning and stuff. And he's screaming, I hate you. I think that really sold everybody, like, okay, this guy's going to become Vader. It makes sense in the story now why this dude just went to the dark side. He basically thought his woman got brainwashed into believing Obi-Wan stuff. Now he had to fight his own brother, basically, and he got burnt to a crisp after it. So I get that. I understand that that's the best part of the movie. Like I said, there are some goofy things with the dialogue before it, but there's also a ton of horrible things. And again, you can't, everyone hates Hayden Christensen. I think till this day you can't be mad at him for what they gave him. I don't think he's the best actor in the world, but I think he tried his best. But I think also the writing was god awful. So my take is, this guy is saying, I'm gonna hear him a little bit more, that he thinks Captain America is better than Revenge of the Sith. I'm listening. I'm hearing out this take. I'm hearing it out.
It's a more competently made movie. There's less bad shit in it.
No way. Even when you said it, when it comes to the Anakin acting lines too, like there are some monotone scenes where, but even the "What have I done?" I thought that was amazingly acted. Maybe the few lines after are a little monotone, but bro just chopped off a Jedi Master's hand.
What have I done? For some reason, I thought that was in Attack of the Clones, but no, that happens in Sith. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you can tell me. A more complete movie, like following, like coming from like a director writer perspective, where you're following beats and the tones, and there's the hierarchy of going up and down and stuff. I mean, you could argue that Brave New World has it better. It's just really hard because they're calling this rage bait. People on the page are calling it rage bait. People are saying, Return of the Revenge of the Sith over Batman, Captain America. And I get it. I totally get it. But this being brought up, and these guys, I love watching them all the time. This being brought up and seeing so much rage about it, I was like, I'm going to hear them out. And when I thought about it, I'm like, Captain America isn't the greatest thing, but I was sold on it after thinking it was horrible. Revenge of the Sith, I thought it was going to be the greatest thing ever. And then I bought it, and I sat on it, and it didn't live up to my hype of what I wanted it to be. Now, as a grown-ass man, I don't look at it as much as I did when I first saw it. And through those years, I kind of just threw it to the side. I didn't care about it as much. And then with us going to the franchises now changing with Disney and all that, you revisit everything with Star Wars. You want to remember all the good you can find or all the bad and race it out. So we did revisit all these kind of things. And sometimes it's nostalgia. Sometimes we like things. I think a big thing, I won't get too much into it because that's for another video someday. These guys hold Spider-Man's Remy up to a way higher standard than I think it is. I think a lot of people do. We remember the first time we fell in love with Spider-Man on the big screen, and it sticks with us. Now, I'm not going to get into it, But so with this, it's interesting. People are totally thinking it's rage bait, but I think he honestly feels this way, because, and again, Hawkeye I don't agree with most of the time, but I do understand the idea of something that could be better than Revenge of the Sith. Again, throwing Captain America as better is really hard because that movie is not liked upon people. I'm just saying I liked it compared to what I thought I was going to feel about it. Now, is it better? I don't know. Because Revenge of the Sith disappointed me in the end, and Captain America impressed me in the end. But it was one thing having high expectations for a movie, and one thing having low expectations of a movie. So is it really fair to me to say this one's better than that one? And it's hard to say, is a Captain America not led by Steve Rogers headlining the movie better than a Revenge of the Sith Star Wars movie, the first time we ever see Vader, historical moment in Star Wars history? You're going to say that is lower than a Captain America led by Sam Cap? You know, that already makes you want to cringe and be like, oh, how can you begin that? But I understand a little bit where he's coming from. Now, I'm not going to go and say one's better than the other, but I understand the gripe.
Yeah.
You're starting to do a backflip or something and start crying about it? No. He's the way he drops to his knees, too. I would say it gets a little weird when he's like, you know, anything, my master. But that's it. But I do like the scene where he goes, what have I done? Like, that's a good crying, emotional dropping to his...
To me, that's more like if you watch The Room... He's like, Lisa, or Lisa, you're killing me. It's just horrible acting. Poor Hayden.
I appreciate that acting there. I think that's good acting.
Poor Hayden.
Except for the hand over the mouth thing, because I don't know if that's true, and you are sometimes hyperbolic.
That is pretty.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, then I will give that to you.
I don't.
But they get away.
I don't know the hand over the mouth. What they're talking about. So maybe someone can fill me in with that. I don't know what the whole about the hand over the mouth with Obi-Wan. It looks like maybe they're trying to say he's laughing. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about.
I think your whole last point, I think you were cooking.
Which one?
The scenes that could have been better, could have been acted better. Because I remember watching him watch the hologram thing, and I was like, that was a little awkward, and him turning is a little bit awkward and a little bit clunky. Mm-hmm. I don't care as much as you.
Yeah.
But
I think that's the thing too, is it could go two different ways with Star Wars fans. They can either take it so serious that they are going to like it no matter what. This is a great moment. Don't care what you say. This is my thing. I'm going to love it. I don't care what you try to make of it. Then there's ones that are so serious that they're like, they brutaled my guy. They made it horrible. So like him saying like, I didn't take it hard as you. It could go both ways when you're talking about someone taking it so serious. They could go one way or the other being so serious. You could be mad and disappointed being that serious that it didn't go the way you thought, or so serious that I'm going to make myself like this because this is pivotal to the story and this is a huge moment. So I get there's people taking it rougher than others.
If those scenes could have been better.
Yep.
Those are pretty heavy
Still
scenes
9 out
as
of
well
10.
too. So I was expecting yours to be lower with the way you were looking at it.
I was like, it's just Star Wars. Like,
So, I mean, I think it comes from a standpoint of you being a Star Wars fan as well and being a Marvel fan as well. You might like Marvel fans. I mean, me, I like comics more than Star Wars. Comics are bigger to me than Star Wars. So that's why Marvel movies, DC movies are a bigger deal to me than Star Wars. But Star Wars is huge. There's no denying it. It's amazing. It's a huge franchise, great characters, great lore. Unfortunately, I think Disney branched off and did way too many things. They should have just kept it minimal for a while. Instead of doing a million different spin-offs of everything in their own stories. And I don't know. That's a whole nother story. But as far as this goes, I'm not going to say either is better than the other, but I do think we didn't give Captain America Brave New World the credit it deserved. You can disagree with me. You can agree with me. But I honestly think we didn't give it the credit it deserved because me going into it, maybe that's the problem, is I didn't have high hopes on it at all. And after watching it, it was a pretty good like political drama. Did they do some people dirty? Yeah, Red Hulk wasn't done right. Leader wasn't done right. I hope he has a connection later on. He made said something at the end that people thought connects to Doomsday. I don't know. Or Kang or something. I don't know. But I really wish they used Leader's a cool villain in the Hulk comics. But we're never going to get a Hulk movie again because Universal is Universal. But yeah, so I think this whole discussion is not about which one's better than the other. I would say it's just a funny take. But it does seem a little more coherent at points because Star Wars, the prequels do kind of jump around everywhere. Some bad movies can at least follow a beat and keep it going. Star Wars gets a little messy sometimes. But talking to hardcore Star Wars fans, you might make them mad, so don't be careful. But I think the biggest part I'm taking away from this is Captain America: Brave New World. Since he brought it up, and I thought about it, it's not as bad as we think it is. I think give it a rewatch, check it out. It's just a very political drama. It's not so much a superhero drama as much. There's a lot of stuff going on. Falcon being able to fight the Red Hulk, like, I get his suit's vibranium, so he's gonna be able to absorb some stuff, but it's just Batman fighting the Hulk almost. The vibranium suit does help a lot though, but I don't know. And they could have done so much more, and I didn't like Harrison Ford either at all. But again, I'm not going to say one's better than the other, but I'm going to say Captain America: Brave New World is better than I expected, and I think we should give it more credit. So go watch it again. Tell me if it was that good, and go watch Revenge of the Sith and tell me all the good parts out of it. I mean, slaying of the younglings is pretty cool, I guess. Killing some kids, and the fight at the end. What else was good in the movie that we really, really liked, besides like the ending, basically? What all stuff was great in it? Let me know, because I like to watch it again and look at for those parts that were good. But that's all I have, really. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want. But come back at me with this stuff. I want to talk, and then I can make follow-up videos about it.